Looksmaxxing, a once obscure online trend, is moving into the mainstream. Appealing mainly to boys and young men, it's an effort to maximize your looks, often taken to the extreme. The goal...
Okay, y'all. I don't know if you are familiar with Lookmaxxing. I wasn't familiar with it until just recently myself. I didn't even know what it was. Lookmaxxing is a form of changing the way you look. It's a form of changing how you view yourself based on a cosmetic level. So that means you may have surgery on your jaw, your nose, even your forehead, your eyes, your ears, changing everything about you, down to taking medications, down to taking steroids. Lookmaxxing is supposed to change the way you look to the maximum of your ability, because the way you actually look now, you deem yourself as lower than. When it comes to the dating market, you see yourself as lower than. That's the reason you're an incel. What is an incel? Involuntary celibate person, which is usually a term that we use for men. We refer to men as incels because most men are not getting any action. What type of action am I talking about? Yeah, I know the type of action I'm talking about. Most men are not getting laid. Most men are not getting any sex at all. When I say most, I'm talking about a dangerously amount of men are not getting looks from women. Women do not even know they exist, to the point where most men are unattractive to most women. And that is a fact. If you don't believe me, look it up. That's the reality of things. So some men are coming out and lookmaxxing so that they can look different and appeal more to the opposite sex. Now, is it working? No, because that's not all it takes to appeal to the opposite sex, because women are looking for more than looks. Even though looks does help, when you get that clout, when you get that money, that also enhances your ability to get looks from women. Because again, you have to remember, most men are unattractive to most women.
To achieve what Looksmaxxers call ascension, or what they consider the optimal measure of beauty.
Optimal.
We're operating in a society that's extremely shallow.
Very shallow.
Looksmaxxing influencer with more than 2 million followers across social media.
We're not saying go past your genetic limits and go into extreme measures, but try to optimize your lifestyle around your appearance.
So what is the ideal male face? Controversial Looksmaxxer 𝗟cie says he has an idea.
The most attractive man in the world, I would say that in terms of harmony percentage, it's like a very objective thing. This is not really based on like an opinion of mine. Would be Matt Bomer.
The actor's looks celebrated in online forums where Looksmaxxers discuss their ideal appearance.
For a man to look at this man right here and say that, oh, he's very attractive. This is probably what women want a man to look like. This is probably what women are attracted to. This is probably what I should strive to look like because women find him attractive. Matter of fact, I find him attractive as a man. See, this is, what do we call gay? That's exactly what this is. This is the reason why 𝗟cie, when I was first introduced to him on a podcast, I said, let me listen to exactly what this man has to say, right? And it was a bunch of bullshit. Why is it a bunch of bullshit? It is because you're born one certain way, gentlemen, and you can always enhance the way you look, right? But to try to look like someone else is gay. Let me repeat it. To try to look like someone else is the dumbest thing that you could ever do. Why is that? Because it's telling me that it's giving off female vibes. It's giving off very feminine vibes. You want to look pretty. See, women do this. That's the reason why a woman will get plastic surgery. That's the reason why women will get their lashes done. They will get their eyebrows done. They will get their lips done. They will get plastic surgery on their jaws, their nose. It's given very feminine vibes. So are these men feminine? Of course they are. They are trying to look like the ideal man. And the crazy thing about it is that the ideal man to them looks similar to this, which is crazy. Because in society, men are not deemed attractive by their looks. Well, trust me, you have seen that baddie, that beautiful woman, that bad-looking woman with an average man. Why? Because that average man has the clout. He doesn't look like this. It doesn't matter. He busted his ass. He went out there. That's what women are attracted to. But these incels, these involuntary celibate men who get no buns, who get no box, who get no women, they feel like, okay, if I change the way that I look like a woman, if I'm pretty enough, women are going to like me. I'm going to attract the type of woman that I want. When in actuality, there's a lot more work that you need to do than to look pretty as a man.
A chiseled jawline, specific facial ratios, and eyes one eye width apart.
Crazy.
Bomber himself does not appear to be affiliated with the movement. And while some methods are focused on skincare...
Do y'all see what I'm talking about? This is what lookmaxxing is. Trying to look pretty enough for women. Whatever happened to being masculine? And it's crazy to me that this movement started back in 2010 because now with social media, I guess a lot of young men are just now starting to jump up and get up on this. But I have a message to you young men. Stop worrying about looking pretty enough for women. So what? You have acne. I had acne growing up. As a teenager, look at my face now. And trust and believe, I've been told by a lot of women that I was very attractive. And that's not just me being conceited, but at the same time, there was no lookmaxxing here. I've never tried to look pretty enough for women. I just keep myself up. That's all you have to do. Hit the gym, work on yourself, work on this, because at the same time, you have to know how to talk to women. You can't lookmax yourself and look pretty enough but be shy as hell and don't know what to say when you're in front of a woman. Do you really think she's going to approach you? This lookmaxxing shit is going to do nothing for you but have a bunch of pretty ass looking men in the club with pretty looking hair, playing in your hair, in your phone, taking selfies all day. Because that's what women do. So what are y'all becoming? Y'all are becoming the women that y'all want to date, just like the women are becoming the men they want to date.
Basically throwing the dice and hoping that it goes back the way you want it to, but you have no idea how your bones are going to rejoin themselves. We have no idea what the long-term implications are.
Experts say it's about more than just vanity.
In your research, have you found a negative mental health impact from being involved in this community?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, there's a lot more negative mental health ramifications. They're developing body issues that they didn't have when they first entered the community. And they're seeing their body is fundamentally a very flawed and imperfect thing that is going to ruin their lives.
And looksmaxxing is popular in online forums that often perpetuate dangerous concepts like misogyny, nationalism, even racism.
Race absolutely influences how these men are judging attractiveness. So every man of color is recommended to improve his attractiveness by making himself appear more white.
But despite the controversy, the industry surrounding looksmaxxing is growing, with websites dedicated to selling supplements and products.
If you were talking to a parent of a 16-year-old who's worried about this trend, what would you tell them?
Putting in the emphasis that they deserve to be loved no matter how they look, I think, is probably the most important thing.
Gentlemen, I have to tell y'all, especially you young men, stop listening to this bullshit. I know and I understand that social media is poisoning your minds. It definitely is. If you say no, trust and believe, I know for a fact. Social media is poisoning your minds because you see shit like this, and you will see men like 𝗟cie gain popularity, and you think, oh my gosh, he's popular with the women. Let me tell y'all something. The reason why women are gravitating to him is because of all the attention and the clout he's gaining. Why? Because he is now gaining clout and attention for doing this shit to his face. See, if you do the work on yourself, and you start making that money, that moolah, that doochie, If you start getting the bag, women are going to be attracted to you because it's the work you had to put in order to get to the level that you're at. It's not the way you look. You can look pretty all you want. Women are just going to look at you and pass you over. They don't care about how pretty you look. A woman does not care if her man is pretty as she is. A woman doesn't care if you're in the bathroom for 2 hours out the day getting ready, primping your hair, putting on your makeup. No, she does not care. But if you are out there slaying the dragon, getting to the bag, you've got ideas, you are leading her. That's what she really cares about, gentlemen. Y'all have to understand something when I tell y'all this, and it's a fact. Stop trying to look pretty for these women, because women do not care about you looking pretty, just like you don't care about how successful a woman is out in the world, because we like two different things. Women are attracted to rugged men. That's why you will see a rugged man with a chiseled jawline, and they say he's what? The bad boy. But then when you see a pretty boy, women do not like that shit. I used to think that when I was young too. Women like pretty boys. Women do not like what they are. They like the opposite. Just like men do not like rugged women. We do not like masculine women. We like what? Feminine women. So if your woman is in the bathroom getting ready for 2 hours, you're like, hey, I get it. She's trying to look pretty. That's cool. But when you're in the bathroom, as long as your woman's in the bathroom, guess what? She does not appreciate that. She does not like that, because you're trying to be as pretty as she is. Next thing you know, you're going to be carrying a handbag, talking about, do you like my pumps? Yeah. So if you're one of these guys, especially you young men, in your teenagers, in your 20s, all I have to tell you is this: work on yourself. Find something that makes you money. Find something that makes you the maximum amount of money. Not something that's going to maximize the way you look, because as you age and as you get older, you're going to fit into your looks and how you really look, which is going to be what? Masculine, because that's how you were born, a masculine man. Stop letting them turn you into a feminine man, because women do not like feminine men. They want a masculine man. Until next time.
Stephen Rumbo joins us in studio. Steve, I have two questions for you. Is this sort of a fringe online trend, or is this becoming more and more popular?
Yeah, it certainly started off very fringe and has been around for a few years now, but some influencers like 𝗟cie have gone viral with some of these clips and has really brought this into the mainstream, specifically bone smashing, which we mentioned in this piece, people hitting their face with a hammer. It sounds pretty silly, but when you hear some of the more extreme things that they're going to, taking testosterone, which can mess up their fertility later in life, all of these things seem very short-sighted. Something we've worried about a lot for young women is their body image issues, but now it really seems like we need to worry about young men as well.
If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.